Hey guys, I just want to make a quick little video because I felt like where we left off on period 1, left you guys a little confusion on problem 10. So let's just do a quick little video discussing some of these problems. That way you guys can reference this back over the weekend. So if I want to determine the missing line of reflection, I'm going from A, B to A prime, B prime. So this is my pre-image, my original segment. This is my image, my after I've done all my reflections. Again, a double reflection is really just a translation. I can see that A to A prime, the distance traveled is 10 units. Okay, so it traveled 10 units. Now, it also traveled 10 units down. That's going to be a very critical spot for us. It traveled down 10 units. First, AB was reflected over the line y equals 4, and then reflected over some other line. Well, think about this. If it traveled 10 units, the distance between the two parallel lines has to be what? It has to be 5, right? 5 units, because the distance between the parallel lines is half the distance traveled by the translation. Now we traveled down 10 units, so we want to have this direction heading down. So I'm going to draw my line in at y equals -1. This is down from my original line. The direction or the order of the reflections will tell me the direction of the translation. 4 going down to 1. 4, then the line y equals -1 is telling me that I'm translating down. This distance is 5 down, therefore the translation is 10 units down. Let's look at 10C. First, we reflected over the line x equals -1. Then we reflected over some mystery line that we're going to figure out. We went from segment AB to segment A prime, B prime. Well, let's look at the resultant translation. The resultant translation has a distance of 10 units, right? Has a distance of 10 units. And specifically 10 units to the left. So we're moving to the left. Well, if we're moving to the left, the relationship between x equals -1 and this mystery line should also be to the left. Right? So we should be going to the left. This was translated 10 units. So the distance between my two parallel lines has to be 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That line is x equals -6. Okay, 5 units to the left. Again, this was first, this was second. So if I draw an arrow between the two lines, this is a good way of telling myself what direction it's moving in. Draw an arrow between your first line of reflection and your second line of reflection. If the arrow is pointing left, we are moving left. If the arrow is pointing down, we're moving down. All right, let's knock out one more example for you guys. Do 10B up here. We are first reflecting over the line y equals -2. That's our first line of reflection. We got to figure out our second line of reflection. If I measure between B prime and B, it doesn't matter which one I measure between. But this is traveling a distance of 4. And specifically, it's traveling up 4. That means the distance between these two parallel lines will be 2. Remember, it's half of that value. And I want to be traveling up. So I'm going to draw my next line in at y equals 0, which is really just the x-axis. This has a distance of 2 in between them. And if I draw an arrow, my first line of reflection to my second line of reflection, that arrow is pointing up. That's telling me the translation is moving up. So if I want to go up 4 units and I have a double reflection, my first line of reflection to my second line of reflection, that arrow is going up. This has a distance of 2, which will create an ultimate translation of 4. Hope this clarifies. There's also the video link from Mike Patterson, our textbook, at the bottom of the page that you guys can also use to watch for review as well. Have a great weekend, everybody.